Monday morning, nice and early, 7 a.m. Headed down to the waterfront office, as me and Rob call it. You know, I kind of joke about this being my office. I posted that on social media a couple of times, and everybody's like, "Oh, wow, nice office." But you know, and I have an office at home that I've been working at. I've been working in there a lot the last few days since I got my air conditioning fixed. But when I wake up early in the mornings here, you know, 6 o'clock, 6:30. And you know, I tried this early thing once at home back when I was working out with Marcus a couple of years ago, maybe 3 years ago, and it only lasted like a week. It was getting up and going in there and working out with him at like 6:30, 7 o'clock in the morning, trying to knock it out, get my day started. Just not productive that early physically. I've always been a night owl. You know, it's easy for me to stay up late. Had the craziest sleep schedule when I was in high school. I used to say, I always said I slept in a split schedule. I used to come home from school, sleep for 3 or 4 hours, get up, listen to a Reds game, stay up, watch late night TV, Jay Leno, Johnny Carson back then, and then David Letterman, and listen to a talk radio show on AM radio out of Boston, WBZ radio, half the night, go back to bed, sleep 2 or 3 hours, get up, go to school. And you know, and that really never left me. I've always been kind of a night owl. It's easier for me to work at night for some reason. But when I worked at Fort Knox, that kind of changed for me. I used to get up early to try to get ahead of the traffic. And here lately, I've been wondering, should I just embrace being a night owl and do my work at night like I always have? You know, if I'm more productive, what difference does it make for what I do? I don't know. But if I wake up at 6 o'clock here, usually the weather's good in the mornings. I'll check, and if I wake up, weather's good, I have a lot more chance here to get up and get out of bed. I'll come down here. This is it's just a little strip beach island between Fort Myers and Sanibel Island. And if I get down here about 7 o'clock, there's nobody here usually, and I can sit and work, and it's just peaceful, quiet. You just have the birds and the sound of the water. Some traffic nearby, unfortunately, but it is what it is. But sit here and just enjoy the morning, have a coffee, and get work done. So, something funny happened this morning. Well, it wasn't that funny, but I posted on social media on Facebook a picture, this picture right here, of me sitting in my chair, the chair you saw at the beginning, looking at the ocean with my laptop, and a memory had come up on my laptop, and I reposted that. It was all part of the picture if you look at it closely. And I said I was working at my office this morning when this memory came up on Facebook. And someone said, "Well, where's your office at, and what are you doing now?" I think they kind of missed. I was making a joke about that was my morning office at the ocean. But yeah, that's a kind of a special place. My buddy Rob lives down here. He's been in there for like 10 years in Fort Myers, and he showed me actually even a better place that's down before you go across the bridge to Sanibel Island. You can go underneath the bridge where the boats. Where the people put their boats in and park their trucks and trailers and things. And if you're under there, it's nice and shady, and there's a nice breeze that blows through. It's super nice. Probably shouldn't be telling people, let the secret out. Not much parking down there. But, you know, I also go across the bridge there's this little beach there's a little beach before you get over to Sanibel Island. And it's a great place to go in the mornings. If you go on the north side of it, or the west side, I guess, the sun is coming up behind you, so have nice shade there from the palm trees and everything. You can look at the ocean. There's no waves virtually. It's almost like just a swimming pool. It's just incredible. You get to watch the birds. Every now and then you see some dolphins, and sit there and work. And so then the next question was, what are you doing now? What are you working on? And then someone else messaged me and said, hey, what the heck are you doing when you're working down there? So yeah, doing research and things that I need to get done. But one thing I'm working on is I'm writing a book. I don't know if it will ever be published or not. We'll see. I actually self-published an ebook about 10 or 12 years ago. It was about how to start an e-commerce store. And it was on Amazon for a long time. So a few copies. And I eventually took it down because it was outdated. There's so much information that outdated very quickly when it comes to search engine optimization or SEO, and some of the other things with online e-commerce stores. A lot of different things that were outdated, so I just yanked it and so put it to the side for now. The new book, it's about. Sorry, can't tell you. It's top secret. I can't tell you. If I told you, I'd have to kill you. But we'll see. I have a friend of mine who is a publisher, who is a very successful author, and her name is Kim Cross, and she wrote a book. It was on the bestseller list called "What Stands in a Storm." If you're looking for a good book, I'd recommend that one. It's all true. It's about the tornadoes that went through the South, through like Alabama and Georgia back in 2011, and there were something like 300 tornadoes, over 300 tornadoes spawned. A lot of people died in those storms, and she went to the region, interviewed people that were there, the family members who lost loved ones, and all of those things. It's an incredible book. Highly recommend it. And she recently released another book called The Stahl House, S-T-A-H-L, The Stahl House, about a famous house in L.A., and has a lot of history to it. And so I talked to Kim, and she said, yeah, I told her what was on my mind. She said, yeah, it'd probably be good to get this down on paper, and it might turn into something that's worthy of being published. If not, it'll be good to get out of your head and get it on paper, and might help you in some different ways. So I thought, this sounds pretty good. So I started writing. I'm into the book now and writing, and going to see how far this goes, and I'll see if there's any takers as far as publisher when I'm finished with it. Should be very interesting. I'm looking forward to going down a little bit different path, just a little side project, and it gives me something to do when, quite honestly, I'm too tired to do anything else, because I get to sit down and type. I don't have to physically do anything, and get a lot of things just out of my head and onto paper. And sometimes while I'm doing this, it spawns other thoughts. I actually have to stop writing, go do other things, and document and make notes and things about other things I'm working on. It's just very stimulating to my brain. So I'm working on that. We'll see if it ever comes to fruition. If it does, this will be the first place that you'll hear about it and where you can get it. But until then, you'll see me working at my office quite often, probably.